How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are coming with a very late video. It's 2:06 a.m. Eastern Time, which is my home time zone. We did a video yesterday on NNDM very late. It was 1:30 Eastern Time that we started recording on this, and the video did really well. You guys really liked it. You guys liked that we covered the stock real time and covered some news that had recently hit. And you guys rewarded me by hitting the like button. I think it was probably one of our best ratios ever. I think we're sitting around 1.7 thousand likes on the video. And it's just an insane amount of likes that you guys hit. If you guys don't mind doing that again, I appreciate it. This is going to be on NNDM and some news, some recent buys, and some major news coverage on this company. Someone that just talked about it that has a major amount of influence. So I'll hit on that in just a second. But again, if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, if you want to hit subscribe, I really appreciate that. If you want to reward the hustle of making a video at 2 a.m., I really appreciate that. Also, if you want some free stocks through WeBull, you can check out the link below and get 4 free stocks. 2 worth up to $1,600. Just deposit $100. And if you want to know exactly what I'm buying and what I'm selling, I am buying a stock tomorrow. I'm actually thinking about setting an alarm for 2 hours from now just to wake up to buy it in pre-market hours using Webull, because they allow you to buy at 4 a.m. Eastern time, because I think the stock is going to blow up. I actually recently did a video on it, and I'll link on the end screen. But thank you guys for doing that, and let's get into it. So NNDM went down 10% today. Now it's up 6% after market hours. This company will not stop. And you might say, well, it stopped today because it went down 10%, but not really, because they announced that they are going to dilute shares by $180 million. So they're going to price in about 30 million of these companies' shares at $6 a piece. This is something where the company keeps on going up in value. I did the video yesterday covering this and why I actually thought it was a good thing, because they're able to capitalize on the fact that the share price is very high right now. This is higher than it's been in a very long time, and they're diluting shares to build up some more cash. They're putting pretty much all their money towards research and development instead of sales, and really focusing on building the best product possible. Now, there is someone that has been recently buying it, but first of all, I want to hit on some big news that came out. Not just that they priced the registered shares or they had the registered direct offering, but the fact that Meet Kevin, one of the biggest YouTubers, just did a video like as of an hour ago on this company. I watched the video. I just want to hit on some of his main points at the end. He kind of does a wrap up here. He explains what the company does, and we've talked about in the past. If you want to see, I have some older videos on NNDM, but we'll just watch here and kind of show what he thinks about it overall.
Into the future. So I can tell you, when it comes to investing in nano dimensions, this is not really a fundamentals play. This is more of like a hope play. That once we actually have commercial applications for 3D printing, that nano dimensions is going to be here to stay. And even though the stock sold off 10% today because of this share dilution, and it kind of makes it seem like, is this a buy on red opportunity? This company is actually more expensive than where it was yesterday because they issued $30 million in new shares. I mean, the stock should have fallen to $6 in theory, right? That's where the company valued itself. So, to me, I think this company has a sort of bottom line here. A solid 6 to 12 months ahead of it before we actually start seeing a new wave of R&D sales as COVID declines and research institutions start buying these new machines and upgrading these machines again. And then you've really got probably 2 to 5 years of experimenting and testing and refining this 3D printed technology before you actually get a commercially viable product for 3D printing. So really what you're doing by investing into nano dimensions is you're investing into research in the future of 3D printed circuit boards that could be flexible and be really cool in wearables and the Internet of Things and shrinking the size of things and flexible screens and all this sort of stuff. And if nano dimensions ends up being a big player in 5 years, and this ends up being the machine that everybody's got to have, like, dude, this is like a Xerox. Everybody's got to have their Dragonfly. This stock at 20 to 30x. But this is a really high-risk play because we are so deep into looking into the future here. So if you're really interested in this kind of stuff, and you even made it this far in the video, there are a few things you can do here. You can wait like 6 to 12 months, and you could see what kind of research institutions are actually starting to buy these machines. Let some of the hype and hopium fade away from Nano Dimensions. Let it kind of flounder for, through the rest of COVID here, through the next 6 to 12 months. And no guarantees that it will. It could just go to the moon while it flounders, in theory. But basically, when I say flounder, I mean wait for the company to actually keep selling its new system, or start selling its new system to research and development institutions, governments, and schools, and then let them tinker with the stuff, right? We're not going to see something majorly commercially viable here and drive massive demand for this machine for at least a few years. And so you could wait, or if you're gonna FOMO because this thing doubles or triples in value, you could, if you had the appetite for risk, because, remember, in 2019, we had problems at this company. It could, in theory, go bankrupt. But if you had the appetite for risk, you could probably throw a little bit of money into this.
So then he goes on to explain how you might put in 1 to 5% of your portfolio if you have some high risk. He says that he's not even going to take that risk. He thinks it's too speculative at this point. Now, he does make a good couple points before this too. He talks about how really there's no commercial application for this right now. So a lot of the companies that are buying this, or a lot of the institutions, are buying it to kind of tinker around with. And that makes sense, right? If you're buying some new technology, you probably buy one and then you're just kind of sitting on it. You play around with it. But something like this, he also states that he has someone that he knows that is pretty in the know about circuit boards. And he says that essentially there isn't a huge application for 3D circuit boards right now. It just doesn't really make sense. So at this point, it's really investing in the future of this, not just what they have now. So I think that that's not necessarily a major deterrent for the stock, but I think that just me, Kevin, covering this, I think will bring more attention to it, because I am sure that there are people that do not watch my channel, that do not watch the smaller channels that are covering the stock. But Meet Kevin literally has, almost has 1 million subscribers on his channel, and he's getting a lot of eyes on this video already, about 13,000 views in the first hour. This will probably hit 50 or 100,000 or 200,000 views. A lot of people think pretty highly about him. So even if he talks about how it's a very risky play, but it could 20x in the next 10 years or something, I think that this is honestly some pretty positive publicity for them. Even though he's not painting it in the best light, I think that is going to be good for the company, just because so many more people will hear about it. And this has been just a train that has not stopped. If you look at year to date, it's been up and down before, but obviously since September, it's been almost up in a straight line. But I do want to hit on the fact that Ark Invest is also buying this company. They bought about $750,000 just on Monday, which is a significant amount. That's more than they bought all last week in any singular day, about double what they bought in their highest day. So they are buying this dip. They actually are buying a significant amount more now that's fallen. So I think that is something to consider. Meet Kevin does do a good job of pointing out that the people that buy NNDM are buying it mostly on hype, that really no institutions have a major stake except for Ark Invest. They hold a majority of this company at, about 2 to 3% of the company. So this is something to consider when you are buying this, that Ark Invest is really the only large player in that space that is buying this company. But I think, again, I just wanted to hit on the fact that Meet Kevin did do a video on it. I wanted to show you what he said. I think he makes some good points that it is a risky stock. I haven't bought it myself, and I've been very clear about that. But I think that it does have potential. And, nothing is really trading at fair valuation these days, especially in the tech space. So I don't necessarily think this stock is going to fall, but I also realize that there is some risk to it as we go along, as it keeps on getting higher and higher. So if you guys like this, please leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Also, I am going to be buying a stock in a few hours here, and I will be making a video probably on the stock in the next few days. I already did a video tonight, though, and I think it is a really interesting stock. I'll put it up on the end screen. I think this is a no-brainer play. It's PaySafe, a company that I think is severely undervalued at this point. But again, it's undervalued enough that I'm going to be waking up in 2 hours after this video to buy, and then also tell my Patreon members about it. So definitely check out the Patreon if you haven't done that already. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for rewarding me with whatever you want to do for making this video at now it's 2:15 a.m. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, and I will see you in this video on the end screen about PaySafe. Thanks.